Meanwhile, electric school buses are in Sioux City. The EVs are new to the Sioux City Community School District, which has already had gasoline, diesel, and propane-powered buses in its fleet. Now, in 2024, the school board approved plans to build a new bus facility and buy 15 new electric school buses for $5.9 million. Now, to cover much of the cost, the district received a $5.6 million grant from the Environmental Protection Agency. The rest of the funding was actually covered by physical plant and equipment levy funds from fiscal year 2025. The district bought 15 new EV buses. 9 have already arrived. The cost of each EV bus with air conditioning and the camera systems is $395,000. Now, a regular diesel bus averages about $170,000. The district director of operations and maintenance says over the years, the cost will be made up because the EV buses don't need much maintenance. EV buses will also save money normally, he says, spent on gasoline and diesel fuel. KTV's Taylor Deckard went for a ride on one of the EV buses to see how the district plans to incorporate the new 15 buses into its fleet. She also asked how much it costs to maintain the EV buses.
The big difference for this EV bus is the experience.
Our diesel and gas are
the little green truck in the middle there says we're on.
A much quieter experience.
They ride a lot smoother than the diesel buses because of weight displacement. They're quieter, much quieter.
On our ride, we learned the EV buses ride the same as a regular fuel-dependent bus. There are pros and cons that come with any new system. One pro, school district officials say the EV buses are cleaner for the environment.
And we've also reduced carbon emissions just in the 9 buses we have in the driving that we've done by about 1,600 pounds of CO2, which is equivalent to, they said, about 1,700-mile trip on a passenger vehicle.
But Stewart pointed out one con is the battery life.
The bad part about the EV bus is the faster you drive it, the harder you drive it, the more battery it uses. So if we put it on the highway to, say, try to go to Omaha, even though the mileage says we can get there, we wouldn't be able to get back with it. So it's 100% going to be for in-town routes.
When it comes to those cold winter mornings here in Siouxland, Stewart says there won't be any issue starting the EV buses.
They're connected to a charger that has them charged and ready to start as soon as they get here. Not like a gas car or a diesel bus that you have to warm up to get to it. This is just unplug it, turn the key, and it's ready to go.
But he says temperature does impact the bus charging.
Be anywhere from 2 to 3 hours at ideal temperature of 72 degrees up to 10 hours if it's below 20 degrees. So we have from 5 o'clock at night until 6 o'clock the next morning. It gives us plenty of time to get them all topped off.
District's transportation department is doing training with its drivers to ensure they're comfortable behind the wheel.
To get the benefits of the EV and the regenerative braking, we want someone to be trained in it so we can get the most bang for our buck.
These buses not only present a greener mode of transportation, but also cost savings here for the school district.
We've used about $90 worth of electricity. It's displaced about $650 worth of diesel fuel.
Ready to hit the road anytime. In Sioux City, Taylor Deckard, KTIV News 4.
Now, Sioux City has 9 of the 15 buses, and the other 6 are still being built and should arrive in the next 2 months. Now, once all buses arrive, the EV buses will make up about 25% of the overall fleet, which, by the way, also includes gasoline, diesel, and propane-powered buses as well. Now, as part of the EP, a grant, the district must retire 4 buses, in which they refer to as the dirty diesel buses. That's what the EPA calls any diesel bus that was part of the district's fleet prior to 2010. The district also bought 15 EV charging stations for just more than $340,000. These are 60 kilowatt chargers, and they started installing the stations back in July and are already charging the new buses.